Hello everyone, welcome to the LeverX webinar series, a free educational service offered to SAP customers to inform and demonstrate SAP functionality and industry best practices to improve your business performance. Our webinar today is entitled Trick or Treat, Taking the Fright Out of the SAP Material Masters and Bill of Materials. This webinar will demystify SAP Material Masters and Bills of Materials for PLM users. SAP Material Masters and Bill of Materials are building blocks for product master data. We will explore the new Material Master and BOM status functionality, concept of plant-specific BOMs, and effectivity management. My name is Alan Mendel, Vice President at LeverX, and I will be the moderator for today's webinar. Before we begin our topic, let me briefly introduce you to LeverX. LeverX helps companies increase business value by leveraging existing investments in SAP solutions.
Okay, peekaboo. All right, so I sprinkled in a little bit of a Halloween festivity in here for today and try to lighten up our usual very straightforward academic approach to our LeverX webinar series. So happy Halloween to everybody out there. Good day, good evening. So today what I was going to go over is just kind of go a little more into detail on certain things that SAP has delivered with SAP PLM in the new user interface, in the venues of the Material Master and the Bill of Material. So let's go to the next screen. So SAP, once again, with the PLM 7 franchise, has delivered a totally new and uniquely developed user interface for the Material Master. So here I'm showing you the new user interface for the Material Master. So you no longer have to use the traditional SAP GUI. You have the web user interface, which will run on the NetWeaver Business Client Rich Client, or will run in the portal. The screen will look very similar to what we're seeing right here today, and up in the top left, the second major icon from the left is Product Engineering. You see a little gold dial up there, and down in the lower left you can see the material map, the material screen, which I have the first red rectangle on the left. When you select that, you get your main screen where you have functionality that is very Material Master oriented. No longer are you going to have to use any transaction codes to deal with Material Masters in SAP. You have shown there your favorites. So you have the ability now to work with favorites with your Material Master, with just doing a right-hand click, add to favorites, when you're working on a Material Master or via a drop-down. And they will then show up in this screen, your favorite screen, every time you log on and go to your Material Master screen. You can also see to the left of the highlighted favorite materials, last accessed. So anytime you're working with material, it will remember the last 10, last 20, whatever you set the default for, Material Masters you work for, in case you forget to make it your favorite. I never would forget, so I would never use that. That's a joke. And then recently changed, so anything that you've looked at and have changed, so you have last access, you've looked at it, and recently changed where you've actually gone in and made a change and not make it to a favorite. So another filtering factor for you. And also, while I'm talking about this, you can see the Material Master description material type there. This format is easily personalized by the drop-down you see above the Material Master called View. You can see Standard View there. But over on the right where you have Define New Query, you also have a little wrench where you can define your screen layout. It's very easy to use and very easy for you to set up your own unique view on how you want to look at that information. On the bottom, there's another piece of functionality that I really like, and this is really a Material Master reporting that you can set up for yourself. So you can see I've got one created called Material Master Reports, and in the yellow in the lower part of the screen under Personal Object Work List, I have all Material Masters ready for approval. So what you can do is create your own Material Master report, so every time you log in, it will refresh and run your query that you made. You can see there's 2 there, and you can make as many as you want. And just like the top, you go through, define your query search, and the system will then provide you your hit list of the Material Masters that you have in your query. So here, obviously, I want to know what are my Material Masters ready for approval that are close to being released that we need to pay attention to so we can release and get them out into production, right? And then one last thing on the screen over on the left, you see in the lower left box services. So once again, instead of MMO1, MMO2, MMO3, the classic Material Master transactions in SAP, in the dark blue services over there, you just click on one of those service providers. So very easy, very intuitive user interface. Go to Materials. What do you need to do? Create, change, or display. It's all there at your fingertips. Okay, Alan. So how do I create a Material Master? Well, here, let's go and create a Material Master. Oh, I'm very funny. Frankenstein, I'm going for. Let's create a Material Master. So when you hit Create a Material Master, this is the extent, the degree of busyness that you have to work with in the Material Master screen. You need a new material number, Frankenstein, or Frank01 Stein, your industry type, and your material type. And if you're using a change number, you can put that in. Red asterisk is a required field. So here I put in my part number, I put in industry sector material type, I hit continue, and I go to the next screen. So when I create a material, system comes out and says, hey, what do you need to put in here? All right, so you have, for those of you that are familiar with SAP MMO1, you create and select all of your views. And there's a large number of different views, costing, MRPs, accountings, quality management, etc. The list goes on and on. With the PLM tool, basically what SAP has done is repackage this so it's a very straightforward format. You only need to fill out information that the typical engineer is going to apply in there. What is the lab office? Is there a product hierarchy? A material description. I want everybody to read that because I thought that was damn funny. Frankenstein, first known case of parts reuse.